I love woodworking tools, and especially, of course, I love carving tools since I'm a wood carver and I really love wood carving tools. And like probably everybody else, I had a question: what tools should I buy? Of course, when I came from Russia, I didn't have that big. I had only one gouge and I had only one knife, which is I made myself. The gouge was given to me. My teacher gave it to me, and knife I made myself. So when I came to United States, I had to make the decision what tools should I buy, because for me, honestly, it was a surprise. Here in USA, you can find anything, you can buy anything. You just need to know where and how much. It's all it takes. And there's a lot of different choices in the United States. So when it comes to tools, when I had to buy some of my first tools, I bought what was available right away, and that was Swiss-made set. That's what I bought a long time ago. The first set was, like I said, Swiss-made. In the United States, it's pronounced file tools, and so they are really nice tools. And I'm going to talk about the difference I really like about those tools. What I thought it's actually really good tools for me. When I look at the tool and I look how straight it was assembled, how nicely it was done, and it was just a really nice tool to work with. So that was my first choice, and probably the most of you, when you go to Woodcraft, and there's not too many different brands, probably you can find a couple, maybe 3 brands of wood carving tools. The main one is a Swiss-made, it's file. The second one you can probably find flex cut, and maybe some dockyard, the small miniature tools. And that's it. That's probably what Woodcraft sells in the United States. Then I found out there's a lot more choices. I can go online and buy different brands, and I can buy Ashley Isles, I can buy Oreo, I can buy, which is actually just only a few years, Oreo brand. It's actually just was available only like maybe I would say about 5-6 years ago when it came on market. That's a Chris Pie Tools. There's a German-made lamp brand. You can buy it Woodcarver's Supply. There's a Two Cherries. There's a Dastra. There's a Stuba, and so on. Henry Taylor tools. And I had to make the decision which tools I really like to work with, and I probably have multiple tool brands on my shelf, and I can tell you what I like and what my opinion is actually works for me really good. They all, I would say they all about the same as far as how they are tempered. For example, Swiss-made our file is usually it's a tempered HRC number, I believe, and I remember that correctly. It's from 59 to 61 HRC. I mean, let's say Ashley Isles, it's the second choice. It's probably the most what I have right now. It's a HRC 61. It's what they're trying to temper that. So HRC 61. And most of them probably about the same numbers. You know, Stuba is a 58 to 60, Two Cherries is about the 61, and so on and so on. But anyway, let's compare them, okay? There's different opinions, and I don't want to argue. I'm just going to tell my own opinion, okay? Let's take, for example, file, okay? What I like about the file. Well, first of all, the steel is really nice. It holds the edge really long. The thickness of it is also really nice. And it's a really straight tools. They lasting long time, and I like the handle. It just fits my hand really nicely. Oh, and some people, they really like the idea of octagonal handle, that it's not rolling, so you can place it on your bench and it's not gonna roll away nowhere, which is true. But if I'm gonna compare exactly the same, this was number 7. Number 7, and I'm gonna take Ashley Isles. So you can see the Ashley Isles built absolutely differently. First of all, you can see the big difference in a handle, and the handle itself, it's not octagonal, but it's traditional English, and it's a rounded one, and it has some kind of satin finish on it, and I like how it feels in my hand. You know, if you hold that tool all day long, and if it's rounded, for me it feels more comfortable than octagonal handle like this. Although I don't see the big difference, but still, you know, those ribs in your hand all day long, it's less comfortable for me than the rounded one. Okay, but the question is, if you place that on a bench, so will it roll out or not? And some people, they said it happened to them multiple times when they placed that on a bench just like that, especially if the tool is small, and they saying it just rolls out, versus let's say the Swiss made, it's not rolling out, and you place it and it just stays right there. And that is a good idea. Like I said, I like both. And to be honest with you, I have the rounded handles about the same as, I mean, as long. Okay, I have the rounded handles about the same time as the octagonals. Okay, and in my life, and I'm carving daily, I carve every day, I never had even once that my tool rolled out of my workbench. Okay, so that's always staying right there. But also, if you do have a problem like that, you can always use some kind of mat, just like that. Just place it on a workbench and place your tools on it, and it's not going to roll out anywhere. But for me, it's a really comfortable tool. But also, what I like about, particularly about Ashley Isles, you have to understand, I'm not getting any money from Ashley Isles. I'm not trying to advertise those tools. But what I like about those tools, you can see, if I'm going to place side by side, you can see how thick it is, the Ashley Isles versus file. So, and that's what I like about. Also, the construction of the fishtail, which is most of my tools, although they make the different ones, but I like the fishtails. I really like, because you can get to the corners with the fishtail tools. So for me, there is no problem with the rounded handle and all. I like it. I like the way it's built, and it's also, you can see, it's really important when you look at the tool, that your tool is a really straight, the handle versus the chisel part or gouge part itself. So it's a really important part when you're buying your tools that you check, although it's not that big of a deal. Okay, that's the most of the tools I have. It's by Ashley Isles. Lately, I've got, not lately, maybe about 6 years ago, when they started to sell in the United States, it's a French-made tools, Oreo Forge, and it's a Chris Pye tools. So the design of it, it's beautiful, and it also has a octagonal handle, which is also supposedly not to roll out, which, like I said before, I never had any problem before with rolling out. And the handle size is actually, if you compare, let's say, if you compare file, here's my file, and here is my Oreo, and you can see the file is thinner and Oreo is thicker, which is actually almost equal. It's equal to the size of Ashley Isles. So, and that's really comfortable in your hands. I really like those tools. The steel is about the same temperature, the same HRC. It holds the edge really long, and probably I would recommend that if you can afford to buy the tools made by Oreo, it's probably the choice number one for the beginner set. Although it's a professional tools and it's going to last you lifetime, and you're going to use it every day. It holds the edge. It's nice. It's beautiful. There is such a thing as lamp brand, made in Germany. It's a German steel, sold by Woodcarvers Supply, I believe. And I have only micro tools with this brand. I don't know exactly what's the HRC number is, but I assume it's probably about the same. I would say about 58 to 60. It's tempered to that. And for some reason, it's not my best choice, and I wouldn't buy the bigger tools by Lamp. Although it's a good tools, just not my choice, because I saw some rust on my tools. They were laying at the same shelf, and versus file tools, they stay side by side, and this one gets moisture in the metal quicker than file. I don't know how to explain it. Why is it that way? I'm using them for just a micro carving. For micro carving though, I really love, again, it's Ashley Isles, and there's a collection of Peter Benson tools. It's it's not really micro, but still it's kind of mini chisels, mini gouges, made by Ashley Isles, and collection is called Peter Benson. It's a really handy tools, so you can get in really tiny spots with those tools. Now I have, like I said, my tools for years, and I'm using those tools daily. And if I would go and buy my tools from the beginning again, if I would start collecting my tools again, I would probably do the same thing. Because let's say the Ashley Isles, I mean, you can see how, let me show you, for example, number 8. Ashley Isles. You can see how big it is. It's massive. It's a really strong tool. And of course, if you abuse it, if you abuse the tool, even doesn't matter how nicely it's built, it can still be broken. Well, the choice number 1 is Oreo. Choice number 2 is Ashley Isles. Choice number 3 for me, it's File. Please subscribe.